Good morning. I am in a different spot. I moved to a different place, a new home.
Can I see it?
Sure. Let's see here. How can I show you? Here's a view of the outside. Here's a view of the inside. And there's a view of the room. What do you think?
Good.
Good.
I like
a bit of an upgrade.
I like your old one better, but yes.
You liked the other one better? Why did you like the other one better?
Because it had a bed and it was more interesting, and it was more high. And you had the posters.
I still have the posters. I have them. I kept them. But yeah, this space has a little bit more room because I'm spending so much time here in Taiwan. I wanted more room to move around so I can do jumping jacks. You know, I just do jumping jacks like all day because I don't have a job, right? I just travel around and have fun. I heard you told your teacher all I do is travel around and have fun.
And be silly.
And be silly. Good point. I forgot that part. I do work too.
Did you know that?
About what? What do you work for? What do you do?
Well, it's a complicated story. I work on the internet, so I can use my computer to like sell people internet things. I'll explain to you another time. Today, we'll focus on Switzerland. Do you guys know anything about Switzerland yet?
It's a really small country.
It is a very small country. It's not quite as big as India. I heard that you guys learned about India yesterday. With Aunt Margie. All right, here's Switzerland. Anything stand out to you about it right from the start?
It's landlocked.
Yep, it's a landlocked country. But usually landlocked countries don't have a lot of money, remember? When we talked about Paraguay, some of the other ones, because they needed access to the water to be able to get, you know, products to ship and goods to trade. But Switzerland, they have a lot of money, even though they're landlocked. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, why they have so much and how they've done so well. But they have a lot of rivers. So all their different cities are on rivers instead of the ocean. You don't always see the ocean.
And they have like an outline thing. Red outline.
Yeah, the outline, that's the border of their country. So they have 5 neighbors, similar to you guys. You have about 5 neighbors in your neighborhood, right? France is 1. Germany's 1. Liechtenstein, Italy, and Austria.
Austria or Australia?
Austria. It's a different one. Kind of confusing. Australia is way far away. Austria is a neighbor.
What's that video? What's that video?
I don't know. I've never seen that before. This is the first time I'm seeing it. I can't do videos, but what we can look at is these kids jumping on the trampoline in the upper left-hand corner in Switzerland. And look, there's mountains in the background because Switzerland's super mountainous. Margie
can do videos.
Well, Margie's more talented than I am, apparently. We can send you this video later if you want. What do you guys think about these clothes? What do you think? What do you think, boys and girls wearing that?
Why is there a bunny? Why is there a bunny holding
answer
a
Uncle
hand?
Peter's question? He said, "What do you think about those clothes?"
They're interesting.
What if a boy came into your school wearing clothes like that? What would you think? Or girls wearing clothes like this? Would you think they were cool or dorky?
Okay.
Cool. Okay. I think it would be cool. I think that would be super cool. This is the traditional clothes of people in Switzerland. And this is what the adults look like. Donald Trump somehow ended up in this picture, but there's a whole bunch of Swiss people here, as well as Obama and Oprah ended up in here somehow. Cool. Probably because Switzerland is a place where a lot of people come from all around the world. It's a place of peace. So a lot of countries, they have arguments. You know, a lot of kids have arguments with one another as well. And then they might not have an easy time being friends. But with Switzerland, they're kind of friends with everyone. They say, hey, no problems here. We're everyone's friend. We're not going to do any wars. In fact, they haven't done any wars in 500 years. All these other countries are fighting and trying to take land from one another. In Switzerland, they're like, nope, we're just going to hang out here in the mountains and eat chocolate.
Oh, they have a peace sign on the shirts.
They do have a peace sign on their shirt. That's their flag as well. So this is the one you're looking at, I think. Their flag looks just like that. I think I have a photo of it in here somewhere, but that's the Swiss flag.
Yeah.
It's all about peace.
With Donald Trump, there was one. It's like he's holding up both, so it's like peace between America and Switzerland.
Exactly. Yep. President Trump sends wishes to Swiss people for National Day of something. So yeah, it's some sort of peace thing where they have the U.S. flag and the Swiss flag there.
So like they're promising that they'll never do wars against each other.
Perhaps, yeah. I don't know exactly what they were talking about that day, but Switzerland does all kinds of peace. It's not just war, it's peace on many, many different topics. And that's their sort of reputation. So a lot of organizations that work in many, many different countries choose to be headquartered in Switzerland because it's so peaceful. And they actually have 4 different languages. So they have Swiss French and Swiss German and Swiss Italian. So they pick a little bit of the languages from each of their neighbors and they make it a little bit their own. And then they also have something called Romanish, which I don't really know what that is, but I guess people who live way up in the mountains can just make up their own languages.
Do you know that the country we learned about was Maji? It is they have more they have
19,000 dialects.
They have 19,000 dialects.
That's a lot more than 4. So India has a lot of languages and Switzerland doesn't have a lot of languages. I thought 4 was a lot, but apparently not.
India has 22 languages, but then 19 dialects. So
that makes sense when you get such a big country. Like remember when we learned about, or when we talked about the US, how they have so many languages. So even though English is the most commonly spoken, there's like hundreds of them. And one of the things that's really interesting in Switzerland is that in the US, people vote for their president and their representatives in government once a year, once every 4 years, or for other elections, it's every 2 years. So every 2 to 4 years, there's some kind of election. But in Switzerland, they have an election every 3 months. Every 3 months. And it's not that they elect a new leader of the country every 3 months, but they vote on decisions that the government's making. So the government in the US, once they're elected, they can make decisions on what they want to do. They all, a small number of people make decisions and make changes, whereas in Switzerland, they all vote and they say, we think this is a good idea or we think this is a bad idea. And they can do it many, many times throughout the year. It's kind of cool, right? Very different, very peaceful. Here's the Swiss flag we were talking about. So it is a sign of peace. And one of the things that I think is interesting to know is the size of the country. So obviously it wasn't super big on the map, but if we look at the size, they're number 100. So they're kind of a medium-sized country in terms of their population. And do you see any other countries on here that we learned about that are similar?
Hungary.
Hungary is one. And Paraguay is one. And Portugal is very similar. Haiti is very similar. They're right around here.
I want to look for one.
You want to look for one? Okay. Well, a lot of these ones we haven't learned about. So those were all the ones that are the similar size, right around 10 million people. But one of the things that's interesting is that people in Switzerland have a lot of money, similar to the US. So in the US has the most money in the world, but Switzerland's number 14. So even though they're small, they have a lot of money. They're doing pretty well. Actually, Taiwan is doing really well too. Taiwan's a really small country, remember? And they're also in the top 15 here. So there's a lot of big countries, and then Taiwan and Switzerland are 2 of the small ones. You see India here at number 7?
Taiwan is more than Switzerland, and it's smaller than Switzerland.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty impressive for Taiwan.
Blue is us. Blue is us.
That's true. That is true.
Red is China.
Yep.
And
which one's Switzerland? Where is Switzerland?
Switzerland's not in the top 12. Switzerland's number 14, so they aren't in that little.
I can't see you.
little image.
You're blocking.
The black one is the rest. So it's all the other countries added up together. But what I think is most interesting to mention is that Switzerland has the most money per person in the world. So even though they're number 14 overall, country-wise, per person, they have more wealth than even people in the US on average.
Well, we are second.
We are number second, or number 2. And what do you think people do when they have all that money? They try and keep it
They
safe.
get really fancy things.
They do get really fancy things, and we'll take a look at some of the fancy things they have. But they also try and keep the money safe. They have really big banks, and people from all around the world put their money in the banks.
They have gold.
They're known
They have
for their
all kinds of money. Look at this.
banks.
There's all kinds of. Look at this. They're sweeping money in the streets. This isn't a thing that they actually do. It's just for image. But yep, it's just a picture online. And what do people do when they have lots of money? They buy expensive things, just like you said. That's typically what they do. And they also make expensive things because people want to buy expensive things. They have all this money. So Switzerland, they make some of the best watches in the world. Almost 50% of all the luxury watches in the world were made in Switzerland. So, you know, some countries, they make papayas, and some countries make bananas. In Switzerland, they make watches, expensive ones. And they make chocolate, the best chocolate in the world. They're famous for their chocolate. They have, it's not uncommon to go to the grocery store and they have 150 different types of chocolate on the shelves. 150. And I had every single one of them twice.
Do you
Not
think that's
actually.
true?
But what is interesting is that in Switzerland, not only do they have the most money per person, they eat the most chocolate per person out of anywhere in the world. They eat so much chocolate. What do you think? Would you want to be a kid in Switzerland? Hayden's mind is so blown, she can't even see straight. They also do lots of cheese. Have you ever heard of Swiss cheese?
Yeah.
Switzerland, no,
Yes.
their nickname is Swiss. So they have Swiss cheese, but they have tons and tons of different kinds of cheese. And one of the things they do is they melt it into fondue. Have you ever had fondue? It's like cheese soup. It's just a whole bunch of cheese, and you dip breads in it and different types of things. You know how sometimes people have like little crackers or pieces of bread with cheese on top? It's just like that, except in a soupy form. And they put that, along with other things, on top of something called spätzle. It's like mac and cheese, except better. Do you guys like mac and cheese?
Yes.
Do you think it's
But I
possible that something
would
could be
like
better
mac
than
and
mac and
cheese
cheese?
more than that because we have different taste buds, you know.
I see. Well, what do you often eat peas and steak with your mac and cheese? Is that a normal dinner that you might have?
No, thank you.
Not for you, but
But
maybe for the rest of you.
Sometimes I have
Yes.
meat with
Yeah.
mac and cheese.
Yeah,
Kim is obsessed with peas, but she doesn't like the taste of them. She's
Yeah.
been like talking about them forever.
Anytime I think of a funny thing, I have to make it go with peas because peas is just a funny word. So funny.
Peas is a
But
funny
I
word.
don't like the taste of it. I just think it's a funny word, not the taste.
Squeeze the peas, please.
Wait,
I'm a
actually,
tease.
speaking of peas, Daisy ate peas.
Daisy ate peas? Who's Daisy?
The dog.
Daisy the dog. Is this a book or a story that I don't know?
Nope, it's our next door neighbor's dog.
I see. Cool. Well, next time I come and visit you guys, you
They
can
won't
introduce me to
understand.
Daisy. This is a photo of Geneva, one of the cities there, and that's the place that I got to spend a bunch of time last summer. And one of the things that's really interesting about Geneva is this giant stream of water that shoots out of the middle of the lake. So it's built right on this lake, and there's this giant stream of water that shoots all the time, hundreds of feet in the air, super, super fast. And sometimes at night, they put lights on it, so it looks really cool like this. Kind of fun. And it's actually from, I think this is true, it's from a dam nearby where they have this sort of project where they're harnessing all this energy like we've talked about, but they need a place to release some of the water when they originally built it. You know, they couldn't contain all of the water pressure. And so they put this like tunnel to shoot it up in the middle of the lake. and it became something that initially was an accident, and then people really liked it. They're like, oh, this is kind of fun. We have this giant like water fountain shooting up in the air in the middle of our city. And so when they finally were done with the project and they were ready to take it down, everyone was like, actually, no, let's keep it. And so they've kept it. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was told by my friend, Harry. So if it's wrong, we can blame him.
Good plan.
They also have pianos out in public, right by the water. See the water in the background and this lady just playing the piano? You can just go and play the piano in the public. Yes, question? Miss Hayden?
Do they speak the same language as us? So we
They
can
often
we
speak,
can
many of them can speak
communicate with
English.
them.
Yeah, many of them can speak English, but because around the world, a lot of people learn English. But their primary languages are French in Geneva, and they also learn German and Italian and Romanish, that other language.
But they like kind of make it like so they can understand.
Yeah, they also speak, yeah, they have their own sort of dialect. And they also, a lot of them speak English. So if you were to go there, you could probably talk to a lot of people. Now they also get snow. This is the winter time in Geneva. So they get all the different seasons. It's not just summer all the time. Look at this bike rack. Sometimes they make bike racks. Oh, maybe that's just a bike attached to a rack. I've seen bike racks that are shaped like bikes though. It's kind of fun. These ones look like they're having a snowball fight. There is a snowball fight. Anyways, I'm getting distracted tonight. Here's Zurich, another one of their big cities.
Why did they turn it green?
It's probably because I actually have no, it says activists dye the river. I have no idea why it's green. It was some demonstration. It was like an art project. They were trying to make a point, make some sort of story.
Maybe from St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it was for St. Patrick's Day or not, but it was probably a temporary thing that happened once upon a time. But it's another city, another major one. Question, Quinn?
I was reading an article about St. Patrick's Day on St. Patrick's Day or something, and it said that like every once a year on St. Patrick's Day, some people turn a river green with
They
dye.
turn their hair green? I've seen that.
Turn a river. A
Turn
river.
the river green. I see. Well, maybe that was it. Maybe it was St. Patrick's Day.
I forget what country it was in though, so it might be Switzerland.
Maybe Ireland. Ireland, they really like to celebrate St. Patty's Day.
Ireland's most likely.
Yeah. But they do have beautiful water all throughout the country. This is another one of their cities, Bern, which is very forested. Look how pretty this is, with mountains off in the background. Just gorgeous. Here's a bridge in another city. So all their cities are on rivers for the most part. It's really, really calm and pleasant. But they also have towns up in the mountains, like Interlaken. So this is a town that is tucked right into the mountains against another lake. They have a bunch of towns like this that aren't big cities, but places that people go to hang out on the weekends. And sometimes you can go up into the mountain and go out on an observation deck and look out over top this beautiful view.
That is so dangerous.
It's actually not so dangerous. It looks dangerous, but it's super safe. You know, people in Switzerland are really good at engineering, just like in Germany, their neighbor. And so they make things really, really safe so you can walk out on that and you don't have to worry about it at all.
Did you, have you watched Pets?
The movie Pets? I have.
Have you watched Pets 2?
I don't know if I saw Pets 2.
I think you should, because Snowball does a very dangerous thing.
Oh.
He's like over the edge of his apartment, and most of his body is over like the city.
Wow.
But only like his tiny feet are over
So
there.
kind of like that picture, but
That is
Yeah,
dangerous.
and he's singing Superman.
Wow, Superman. Just like in Costa Rica, except without a zip line. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Were you like Snowball on that thing?
In Peru, maybe, but not here. You remember my picture from Peru. Pretty crazy.
all right, girls, wake up from your passing out. He's got
So
some
one
things
of
to
the
show you.
cool things, they have these really, really steep mountains, and they have railways that go all the way up the mountain. It's like a choo-choo train that goes like almost straight up. I got to ride on one of these. Look how steep they are. Look at this.
And you go down?
I went up. I went up and up and up and up. And I think I went down too.
Did you?
Please stay in your seat.
That's so cool.
Then just show him with your face. You don't need to show your whole body.
Very expressive. Every time you guys say something cool, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to flop out of the screen. Here's a giant palace and museum on top of one of their snowy mountains. What do you think? Would you like to go to a museum located here? Does that sound fun?
Yes.
How do you think they made that? Do you think that the building was made in the sky and then they dropped it down on top of the mountain from an airplane? Or do you think they carried the materials all the way up the mountain and then dug in and put it there?
Dug in and put it there.
You guys are too smart. They like sports, and it's not soccer. It's not football. They like all kinds of different sports.
Tennis, riding
One of them.
bikes with a donkey down the hill.
Yeah, we'll take a closer look at a few of these, but this guy is Roger Federer. He's one of the most famous tennis players in the entire world, and he is from Switzerland. But some of their sports that they're more well known for are winter sports. So because they have all these mountains and all this snow, they put on skis and they do snowboarding and they do snowshoeing all through the mountains.
Can you go back to the pictures that you just did? And I want to.
They ride bikes down the hill.
Bikes down the hill. That's crazy. I've never seen that before.
With a donkey
Not in winter.
or horse.
There's no donkey or horse.
Yeah, it's right there.
Are you talking about this one up here in the top right corner, top left corner? We'll take some other looks at them. So this might be what you're thinking of. They like to wrestle out in fields. They go into these like sandy little circles and they wrestle. It's called schwingen. What do you think about that name for a sport? Schwingen.
No, wait. Second.
Let's go a schwingen.
Fourth one on second row.
Yep, he's got some funky pants. It looks like some funky
Can
shorts.
I see?
I think you guys should do some schwingen right now. See who's the winner. What do you think?
Where's the fourth one on the second row? Can I see it?
Hayden, are you ready to swing?
No.
Wow.
What one Hayden was looking at?
Whoa.
That wasn't the one I was looking
It's okay.
I don't know. I can't see what your screen is, so I'm only I'll do my best. But here's another sport they play called hornussen. I really don't know what it is. I read that it's a mix between like cricket and baseball, but like here's a whole bunch of people running around in a field with like a giant stick. It kind of looks like it's a stop sign or something. So I'm not really sure what they're doing, but they call it a sport and they run around and do it. What do you think? Do you want to play? Maybe we can make up a sport next time. Next time I visit, we can just like find things and create a sport. Does that sound fun? I used to do that a lot when I was a kid. Uncle Jesse and I would make up games, and then Aunt Rachel would cheerlead for us. And by Aunt Rachel, I mean Mom.
You would?
No, by cheerlead he means I would play along with because I played the sport.
Wait, I went and Mommy wrestled with you when you were little.
We wrestled? Is that true, Rach?
Probably.
Yeah.
The way I remember it, I was like a 2-year-old, and I was getting attacked by my older siblings where they wouldn't let me run away. They would drag me in and tickle me, and I couldn't escape.
Yes.
There's even video of this. This is why
Yes.
I've experienced so much trauma.
Wait, can you send us that video?
You can ask
And
Mimi
you-
and Pop. They probably have it
When you
somewhere.
were older, you all made up a like secret language with your cousins.
Yeah, that is something. I wasn't smart enough, so I never learned that language. I just learned English, but a lot of the other cousins can speak it. But this game, this is the best game in Switzerland. It's called Steintossen, which means like throw the rock. And they just take a big old rock and they toss it as far as they can. What do you think? Look at this guy. He's like, I have rock and I toss rock. It looks like the ladies are playing as well. Steintossen. What do you guys think? Just don't play this near any houses or cars. You should only play this game in a field when there's no people around. And then after you do the Steintossen, you can go play some swinging. Schwingen time. Look at the kids playing schwingen. Look at them. Ooh, kids Steintossen. Let's see if there's kids playing Steintossen. Looks like it's an adult sport. Maybe you shouldn't throw rocks if you're a kid. Although this one seems to be learning. I think it's a light rock. They might use fake rocks sometimes, so they aren't as dangerous. How about schwingen? Schwingen for kids. Whoa, that's different. Ah, here they are. They're teaching them how to play. Super cool. So if you were in Switzerland, instead of soccer, you could enroll in schwingen class. All right, this is their favorite instrument. It's called the Elfhorn blow. Yeah, the Elfhorn, and they blow into it, and it makes a big old sound. Look how long it is. It's like 3 times the length of a human. Uh-huh. And they all play together. It's like, actually, I don't know if it's like that. I'm assuming it's like that. I've never seen them. That's it. That's definitely it. It's kind of like a vuvuzela. And they yodel. You guys know about yodeling, right? Can you give me your best yodeling impression?
No.
Yodelay.
Girls, please come back in the video. You don't have to sing. But you
Two
don't need to-
more. And this is the best part, the animals. Number 1, the marmot. You guys know the marmot, right? It's like a gopher, except cooler. Except sometimes they get angry and they make faces like this. Look at this. They're all eating. They're having dinner together. Got a bunch of Triscuits.
That's what we look like at dinner too.
I'm pretty sure those are Triscuits. This one's like, I love this rock. It's so comfortable. Oh, the best
I hope no one
rock.
throws that rock.
This one's like, hey, take a picture of me looking pensive. I'm going to think and just take a picture of me. Mom, you taking the picture? What do you think this one's doing?
Yodeling.
Yodeling. He's definitely yodeling. You're so right. You're so right. And they aren't the only cool animals. They also have the black-nosed sheep. Look at this sheep.
Cute.
Oh, they're so cute.
They're so cute.
Is that actually a family? Is that a real life? I can't see the eyes.
Yeah, these are real animals. It's the Valais black-nosed sheep.
That looks like a
Look at that one prancing.
Look at that one planting.
Under the one you just hit.
Under the one you
I
just
don't know.
hit.
There's a
Uncle
lot
Drew,
of
can
good
you
ones.
Christmas?
Can I
Yeah,
get one for Christmas?
please.
I might be able to get you a stuffed
For my
one.
birthday, mail it to me, please.
Wow.
It's
Your
tomorrow.
birthday. That's, I don't know. I don't know if they ship real live sheep overnight.
In a box. In a box.
Wait, you want a live one or a stuffed animal one?
A live one. Live one.
I don't think they'd like to be in a box.
The good
I don't
point.
think so. So,
We
anyway,
have,
that's
we have a
Switzerland.
lot of grass.
You do have a lot of grass. Oh, I saw the one that was jumping. Oh, I have to share this video for you again. Or I see one that is jumping. Let's come over here. Look at this guy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Look at this guy. Boing. Boing.
Do you think he was jumping so high because he was listening to Swiss music?
Yes.
Oh, have you guys ever heard of the fainting goats?
Yes.
You know about the fainting goats?
Yes, yes.
They run around and they get scared and they just freeze and fall to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good. Is this Swiss music, Rich? Is this yodeling?
Of course it is.
It's yodeling.
Stop.
Now we just need some stones to throw. Do some Steintossen.
They're
Oh,
swinging.
they're swinging. They're swinging. Quinn, maybe tomorrow we can celebrate your birthday with some Swiss chocolate. Ah! Don't fall out of your seat.
Yeah, please don't knock over. Never come back. You want to celebrate your birthday with Swiss chocolate?
No.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Swiss chocolate and Swiss cheese?
No, not
No,
Swiss.
not Swiss.
What about the Spätzle? It's like the best mac and cheese in the world. What do you think? Spätzle.
That's how you pronounce it. I never knew that was how you pronounced it.
No.
Me neither. I'm just making it up as we go. No, I'm kidding. That's how you actually pronounce it.
No.
So what do you guys think? Switzerland or
No.
India? Which did you prefer?
Switzerland. But they're both amazing.
Don't tell Margie.
They're almost equal. They're like almost
I
equal.
won't tell.
They really liked learning about India
Equal.
because it was so different from the other countries we've been learning about, but they weren't that interested in visiting India because it's so hot there and girls have to wear pants and long sleeve shirts a lot of the time, and that part made them very upset.
And there's no clean water.
Yeah, and a struggle of clean water. So they were less interested in visiting them.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people have that opinion. I want to go a lot. I really want to check it out, but not yet. Someday.
All right, one imitation of a fainting goat, and then we're going to stop.